This question is for Nick. Nick, you joined this team right after winning the Cup with the Pittsburgh Penguins, and obviously been a part of a championship team. You've been a part of a Predators team that made a huge run as well, just in terms of the regular season. Is there an element that you feel is missing on this team, even though you guys did play so well and still got beat? What are you seeing in terms of whether it's a skill set or just a type of mentality or something that you feel like that could be added to this team or that needs to change on this team to be successful?
Um, that's a tough question. I think the skill is there. I think for the most part, the work ethic is there. We've talked as a group about mental toughness. I think that's somewhere that we could maybe clean up. I think our team is pretty emotional. We all want to win really bad. I think when we get scored on, you see it. I think when we score, you see it. We might get too high, get too low, but um, it's nothing I can pinpoint. I will say, that year after my first year here with Winnipeg in Game 7, we won the President's Trophy, and uh, we were the one seed, and Winnipeg was 2 or 3, and we lost in Game 7 to them. I think there's just so many good teams in this league, so much parity that um, it's the littlest thing that can win or lose games. And this year, those little things didn't go our way. I thought in the playoffs, our special teams were great. Our power play and our penalty kill were great. So that wasn't it, which was a problem in the past. We cleaned that up. It's tough to really pinpoint what goes wrong. I think it's only been a week or not even since we've been done. So these are things we'll look at. I'm sure we'll have discussions together, but I feel like the players are the right group of players, and it's something we've just got to figure out. But obviously, as we get older, you don't want to take too long to do that.
Guys, you guys are all obviously ridiculously talented. So, what is the difference between, or not the difference? I'm sorry. What is the balance between trying to do everything you can to maybe take over a game, to will your team to victory, if you will, versus no, we got to stay in the system, create good habits, knowing that it's not December or January, and you're kind of developing good habits. That it's every goal matters, right? I mean, this is a best of 5 series. There's no real time to mess around, and if it's a results game business, how do you resist that urge, I guess, to try to do too much?
Yeah, I mean that's a good point. I think as a player, especially in the playoffs, it's important to stay within the system. But then I think every player has his own strengths, and every player is creative in his own way. And I think I can only talk for myself, but like I think personally, um, you don't really want to change your game. In the playoffs, you want to keep playing aggressive. You want to keep playing your game, and obviously the stakes are a little higher. But for me personally, I try to be aggressive in the playoffs, and obviously it's the games matter a lot more, and I think uh, every mistake is obviously costly, and the goals matter a lot, and so yeah, I don't know. Me personally, I think you got to balance. You got to stay within the system, but at the same time, you want to play your game too.
I
Sorry, my
think
dog was barking.
To expand on that, I think with Coach Hynes coming in, he put a lot of value on the littler things that you wouldn't really watch on video, and we started to watch. So we'd watch a lot of block shots. At the end of every um, game recap, we'd watch block shots. We'd watch if a guy fought. We watched Trennan, the highlight of him fighting Chara, just him for the team doing that. We'd see decisions, at blue lines, and I think those are the things that in the playoffs do mean such a big deal. Like with Phil on a 2-on-2 with space against any defense in the league, I'd take him. But when a team has a good gap, making that decision to get it deep, allowing D to change, getting on the forecheck, getting the puck back after a forecheck. I think things like that were things that coach stressed, and not just Phil, to everyone on the team. And I think it was, you could see it in our lineup, top to bottom when he came in, that I think we got a bit more detailed. There are times, obviously, when guys, with the skill they have, are going to do what they do. But, a lot of the hockey games now are so tight checking that you have to make decisions and you have to do little things. And I think we we definitely made some big strides in that as a team.
This question's for Nick. We've talked a lot just over time about John Hynes being able to implement his system. And you mentioned in response to an earlier question that you thought the system coming into the playoffs this year was better than the system you had in place last year. So my question would be, at this stage in the game, do you think Coach Hynes has had a chance to fully implement his system, or do you foresee further changes coming into the next season?
I think his system was fully implemented, and this isn't to say it was Lavi didn't have a good system. I think the biggest change for me, and I'm sure Yost can speak to this too, but as a center, I thought it was a lot easier, a bit in the D zone, because we were able to play a bit more of a zone and hand guys off. The D were able to stay near the net a little bit more, and the forwards would play higher. So for me, that was easier. And I think the best part about that was we knew where our exits were when we did steal the puck. When you're man on man, Yost might have chased a guy up to the blue line. They rim it down. I pick it off, and I don't really, know where Yost is. I think with how we've been playing, when we do steal a puck, we know we have a middle exit, we have a low bump, we have stuff like that. So for me, that was the best, a better change for me. It meant just a tiny bit less skating, maybe a little bit more thinking D zone, which I like. Yeah, I think he was able to get it all in. We went over it in camp pretty well. I thought we played it pretty well in the playoffs, and I'm sure, after a long break, he maybe makes a tweak or not for next year, but for the most part, I think it's it'll probably be the same.